I want you to think about yesterday. You did everything right. You hit your calories, you got your steps in, you trained, you went to bed on time, and then you jumped on the scales and they've gone up. And you know exactly what your brain just said to you. It's not working, you're a failure, it's failed, there's no point in carrying on, and you almost want to throw those scales into the bin. Look, I've heard that voice. I've had exactly the same morning. And I need you to know that that voice is bloody lying to you. Because I'm going to show you with actual maths why the number is almost certainly nothing to do with gaining fat. And once you understand this, the scales stop having this almost power over you. I'm Rob. 20 years of coaching fat loss. I've lost 15 kilos myself, 33 pounds in 12 weeks, and I've had the exact morning that you've just had more times than I can actually count. I did everything right. The scales went up, I nearly quit. I didn't because someone actually explained to me what's going on and what's happening within my body. That's what I'm doing for you right now, because when people understand their bodies, they don't quit when they've just had their best possible week that springboards them into the next few days. So let's just look at the maths for a second. 1 kilo of fat. If I was to try and gain that, I would need to eat 7,700 calories to gain 1 kilo of fat. If I wanted to gain half a kilo of fat, I would need to eat 3,500 calories to about 4,000 calories above my maintenance calories to gain that overnight. So if my maintenance calories were 1,800 calories per day, you'd need to consume 5,300 calories. You did not eat that last night, did you? If you didn't, then it's not fat at all. There are a few culprits that we definitely have to talk through, and let's look at the big hairy culprit that always gets a bad rep, and that is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates turn into glycogen, which then hangs on to about 3 to 4 grams of water per gram of glycogen in your body. So if you've had a higher carbohydrate day, you'd be up by half a kilo to an extra kilo overnight, but it is just water weight. What that then does is flush through your body in 48 to 72 hours, and your body uses those carbohydrates for energy. So it's really important that you have carbohydrates. They get a terrible rep, but you need them around your training sessions. I had a client who went out for a birthday dinner, the calories were all controlled, and then they were up on the scales. We had a conversation and a phone call around it. I preempted it. I said, listen, the scales are going to go up. We honestly need to watch what happens. And it was exciting to see because 2 days later, he came back to me and he dropped to his lowest weight possible. Sometimes the body needs that surge of carbohydrates to get moving and working properly, and then what it does is drop to its lowest weight. And that was incredible for this client to experience. And that is the beauty of understanding the data and having someone look at it for you. Culprit number 2, the big one, stress and cortisol. Look, if you're highly stressed, you're gonna secrete something called cortisol. And that just means your body is gonna hold on to a huge amount of water. So if you've had an absolutely brutal work week, you've been doing everything right, you've still been getting your steps in, still been getting training, but it's been brutal, it's stressful, maybe you've got a project on or something's happening, the scales, they will either stick or start this jumpy fluctuation. And that's just because the body is trying to retain and hold on to more water. So I had a client that had a project ending. And within that project, they were super stressed, long hours, 14, 16, 17-hour days. And then what happened, when they took this week off, that week after, where their stress levels were completely reduced, they lost about 1.5 kilos in 4 days. The cortisol was literally holding his fat loss progress hostage. It was a little bugger, right? The other one is food volume. You're literally heavier by the weight of the unprocessed food that you're having. So if the scales are reading higher today, maybe that reflects what happened 3 to 4 days ago. Your body is almost playing catch up. And the most important thing you do is try to, and I know this is difficult, try to remove a little bit of emotion from it. So I recommend everybody weigh themselves every single morning at the same time when they get out of bed, after they've gone to the toilet, before food. You log it, you don't react to it, and you look at it over a 7 to 14 day trend. Then you've actually got an understanding of your body. You don't look at it day to day, because otherwise you're going to be just up and down, and that will play havoc with your emotions. You need to be able to look at that average across that 7 to 14 days. And then when you can see that the average is down by 200 grams, let's say per week, that's fat loss. That's the exact thing that you need. It needs to go in a deficit now. There are ways to speed that up or slow it down, but you are already doing the right thing when you remove emotion and take the average across the week. If the scales are starting to confuse you, you're trying to understand those weight fluctuations, just drop me a message me on WhatsApp, message me on Instagram, just drop me a message and let's try and understand what's happening in your body. So the next time the scales go up, and they will, that's just physiology, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Did I eat more carbohydrates than normal in the last couple of days? Have I been more stressed, or is my sleep pattern all over the place, or is my sleep getting worse? Was yesterday a higher food volume day? If the answer to any of those is yes, and you stayed inside your calories, you have not gained fat. Your body is just catching up. You've got to just trust the process, keep going, and that one shift of understanding what you're actually measuring is the difference between quitting on a good week and sticking it out long enough to start seeing some results. If you want to get life-changing results in the next 28 days, then you need to go and do the cane cut. It's completely free of charge, helps you understand what's needed from a tracking point of view, from a nutrition point of view, and there's a link in the description below. I hope it helps you, hope it gets you from where you are now to exactly where you want to be. Much love as usual, keep being awesome, keep getting stronger, let's go, peace.